relationship with fitness is kind of like my relationship with, say, Meryl Streep. Like, I recognize fitness and I admire fitness, but I've never personally been introduced to it. And they say that what you need to do is just find some kind of physical activity that you just really enjoy doing, and then it's not like a chore, and you're not really exercising, you're having fun, and fitness just kind of sneaks up on you when you're not paying attention. And I love this theory, but I have never found any kind of exercise that I don't hate doing. So I was super excited one morning when I heard this interview on the radio with a woman who has developed a whole kind of exercise program based on the hula hooping. Which, they can't call it that, I guess. Hula hoop is trademarked, so it's just called hooping, because you can make a verb out of essentially anything, as we've learned if we've ever had a job. So I hear this whole thing about how great it is, and by the end of this interview, I'm like, absolutely, that sounds really fun. And I think I'm probably awesome at doing that. So I go to the website, and I'm super excited to sign up for a class, and I immediately see that there are going to be some obstacles for me kind of personally. And this is the part where I'm going to alienate like 70% of the audience. I'm from here. I grew up in Mill Valley, but I have often been told by people that I seem like I'm from the East Coast. And I think what this means is that I lack a certain kind of grooviness. I don't smoke pot, and I've never been in a drum circle. I'm not a Buddhist, and I've never done yoga. And like Republicans right now in this town are doing yoga. So to kind of navigate San Francisco, I have a mental filing system, and a lot of things go into a drawer that I just call Burning Man. Another drawer that I call Healing Crystal. And that's pretty much just a way that I go, I don't really want anything to do with that, and I move on. And just even like a cursory glance at this website says, okay, there's a lot of both of these things going on. Like, first of all, it's not just hooping, it's hoop dance. So, like, envision that you're moved to do some interpretive dance, but you're also in a hula hoop, and maybe you're wearing a really scant, kind of feathery costume, and maybe your hoop glows in the dark, and Burning Man. So there's that, and then there's a lot of language on the website that's about how hooping might be kind of a spiritual path for you, and it might be emotionally transformative, healing crystal. But I think, okay, you know what, the kind of tagline of Hoop Girl is get fit, feel sexy, have fun. And these are 3 goals grounded in reality that I can get behind. So I signed up for the class. I'm kind of excited about it because I'm going to be awesome at this. And I'm kind of nervous when the actual day comes around. But there are 3 other women there who are total beginners. And I'm reassured. And the teacher shows up with all these hoops, and we choose our hoop. They're different colors and sizes and whatever. And then she says, okay, great, everyone has a hoop. I'd just like you to form an intention circle. Okay, so for me, the word intention circle, we are in red alert. Healing crystal. But I think after 5 minutes, I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm like, you knew it was going to be like this, it's going to be fun. You know, get fit, have fun, feel sexy, it's going to be fine. Get in the intention circle, everybody's saying what they want, you know, balance and joyful transformation and whatever. I say I would like to be competent. And she says, I'm sending you energy on your journey. Because this looks like a plastic circle, but it is a journey. Okay, so she asked us to put our hoops up at our waist height and then drop them on the floor. And they're 2 pounds, these hoops, and it's a wooden floor, so it makes a lot of noise when it hits the ground. And she says, that is a sound we're going to be hearing a lot of tonight. And when we hear that sound, we're going to applaud, because that is the sound of somebody taking a risk. Okay, so we're dropping our hoops, and we're trying to get it going, and there's a lot of clattering of hoops, and a lot of kind of, you know, hey there, applause. And within like 10 minutes, people have got their rhythm, and these hoops are staying up for a good long time. And there's not a lot of clattering, except for my hoop. Because I am horrible at this. I'm the only person in the class who cannot do it at all. And fortunately for me, these women are at least polite enough to know that there's a point where that kind of like supportive clapping is more like that thing, you know, when the kid drops the tray in the cafeteria and everyone's like... So, I don't do it anymore. develop. And the teacher comes around to me, and it turns out she might be really great, like a guide on your spiritual journey, but she doesn't have any practical information about how to actually do this thing that we're in a class to do. And she's equally baffled that I can't innately do this. And I'm like, I know, I guess menstruation and hooping are things women can do, but so she tells me her only practical advice is, you know, sometimes people think they know their inflow, but their inflow is really their outflow. So if you go the other way, so I try going the other way, and it turns out my inflow is my inflow, but I just suck at doing this. So that's it for her. And she says, well, you know what's really, it's just so great for you to just get out there and try. I'm like, thank you. And she moves on. So now the rest of the class has totally mastered their inflow and their outflow, and they're just kind of killing time up there, you know. And so she needs to now move on to teach them the kind of basic building blocks of the dance steps we're supposed to be actually mastering. So they learn how to turn a circle in a moving hoop, and they learn how to walk forwards and backwards in a moving hoop, and I learned how to stay out of the way of a lot of people moving around in hoops. And fortunately, I know that we must be coming to the end of the class, and this is like my dream at this point. And she says, great, really great work. Now let's just move into a cool down jam circle. And I start to realize the word circle is alarming to me. I know no good can come of this, but so we're sitting there, and it turns out the jam circle is one at a time. We're going to come into the middle and show off one of our newfound skills. And I turn to her and I say to her, are you seriously going to make me do this? And she says, yes. So great. So everybody comes in, they do their little dance, and I go in, I stand stock still in the middle, I get it to go around me twice, and drop it. And people clap extra hard for me, because you know what? I'm getting out there and trying, and it's super inspirational for people. And we're done with that, so she asks us to put our hoops on the floor and stand inside that circle. And then she asks us to give ourselves a chi shower, which apparently you do by doing that. Sure, if you've ever had the occasion to give yourself a sarcastic chi shower. It's not that easy, first of all. And it's also probably bad karma, but I needed to get a little of my own back. So after that, she asked us to pick up our hoops, and we're holding them in front of ourselves like this, like big steering wheels, and moving them through our hands. And we're doing this for a long time. And then she says, let's just go around the circle one more time. And I'd like you to express a hope for the class, which is not the same as an intention, apparently. So we've got people, they're looking for, you know, whatever, balance in their lives and joyful transformation. And this totally hot girl who can basically do like the dance of the 7 veils in her hoop, she hopes for sexiness. I'm like, seriously? So he comes to me, and I'm like, so I hope for stamina. Competence has already passed me by. And she says, that's so great. Now that we have marinated our hoops in these intentions, let us form an energy tube. I'm not kidding. So we're 12 grown women, we're holding hula hoops, and we're wiggling them in kind of a stack. And this goes on for quite a while, and we're vocalizing, feeling that energy. And she says, okay, on the count of 3, this flower will bloom. 1, 2, 3, and we lift up our hoops over our heads like the petals of a giant marinated energy flower. And the class is over. So I hang in my hoop, and I'm so full of sexiness and fun that I go to my car and weep for about a half an hour until I can regain enough composure to safely drive home. And the next morning I wake up and I can barely move, first of all. I feel like I've been beaten with a pipe all night long, which again, for some people, fun and sexy. Not for me. And I get in the shower and I am covered with bruises. I have bruises all over my ribs. I have this completely mysterious bruise on my right elbow, and I have a massive bruise on my right hip, which is clearly the place where I most desperately been trying to And I'm looking at my bruised body, and I'm imagining this like PE level of humiliation that I experienced the night before, and that's when I had my moment of empowerment. And that was in the realization that simply paying a non-refundable tuition does not actually mean you have to go back. And so I didn't. And in the intervening months, I did have some, there were some times that I had fun, and there were some times that I felt sexy, but fitness continues to elude me. So I'm not going to say, right, that I'm never going to find that thing, that fun activity that I love doing so that I accidentally become fit. But I will say that, indeed, the outlook's not so good.